Skylar Yust found guilty in the deaths of Kopetsky and Jessica Runions today, learning his sentence. This is a look at Yust with his attorneys immediately after the sentencing read by the judge. 15 years for voluntary manslaughter and life in prison, which is capped at 30 years for second-degree murder. Yust now convicted of killing these two young women nearly 10 years apart, but not found guilty of first-degree murder as the state was pursuing. The jury did, however, find him guilty of voluntary manslaughter in the death of Kopetsky. You'll recall she was 17 years old when she disappeared May 4th, 2007. Yust was also convicted of second-degree murder in the death of Jessica Runions. She was 21 years old when she was last seen alive on September 8th, 2016. Their remains were finally found April 3rd, 2017, in a wooded area near Belton. Runions' remains were identified 2 days later. Kopetsky's remains were officially identified August 16th of that year. The families of both young women have waited years and years for justice. Today, they were able to make victim impact statements as part of the sentencing hearing for Yust.
Kara would have made the world a better place, and the world is a colder and darker place without Kara in it. She was such a bright, shining light that was snuffed out way too early and too soon.
Jessica was everything to a lot of people. And there's no more birthdays, no more laughing, no more video games, no more hugs, no more kisses.
Oh, so hard to watch that. Certainly an emotional day for the families in court. 41 Action News has team coverage for you this evening. Sarah Plake is standing by with more from the families after today's hearing. But first, we want to start with I-Team reporter Andy ALCOCK, who has more on exactly how today's sentencing hearing worked. Andy?
Caitlin, perhaps it's poetic, even symbolic. It's been raining much of the day as it is now here in Cass County because a lot of tears were shed in the courtroom during those victim impact statements. And clearly those statements made an impact on the jury. Let's break down exactly what the jury did today. After about an hour and a half of deliberation, the jury recommended the maximum sentences in both the girls' cases. In the Kopetsky case, 15 years in prison for the voluntary manslaughter conviction. In the Jessica Runions case, a life, which under Missouri law is maxed out at 30 years. Now, before reaching that sentencing recommendation, the jury heard Jamie Runions tell them just a month after Jessica went missing, one of her other daughters, Megan, was suicidal. The jury also saw a short, grainy video clip of Jessica's baby sister, Michaela, from when she was just 5 years old. She's now 10 years old. While that clip was grainy, clearly Michaela's message came through loud and clear.
I love you, Jessica.
So not only was I searching for my other daughter, I was trying to keep another daughter alive.
And now the next thing that is going to happen is we're going to have formal sentencing in June. So Judge William Collins ultimately will have the final decision on the sentencing. Again, today was just a recommendation by the jury. And Judge Collins is going to have a very important decision to make. That decision will ultimately mean the difference potentially between Yust spending 30 years behind bars or 45 years behind bars. Caitlin?